Yes, you were tuned in to the Goodfellas Sunday Boxing Talk. I guess we can call this episode one since we had some new artwork and all that good stuff. But it's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka Guru. I got my main man, Big Bro, Boxing First Vlog, aka Blunt. What's going on, Big Bro?
Oh man, here really hash over this hot boxing topic and give our 1-2 on it and see what the folks think.
Yes, indeed. And I got my main man, Ty Finney, the legend, one of the hottest interviewers out there. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? I said I had some things to handle this morning, but there's no place I'd rather be here than here, man. So let's get it.
Hey, man, appreciate that. And Shane is firing shots at the beginning of the show. He said, nigga, you ain't send me the link. I did send you the link. It's in your IG, brother. He come in and he wrong. All right. Hold on. Let me double check and make sure I'm right. Hold on. Oh, he might be right. Hold on. My bad, bro. I thought I sent it to you. My fault. My bad, bro. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, so I'm wrong at the beginning of the show.
You out here on your Garcia?
Yeah, I'm on my Ryan right now, man. My bad, bro. I thought he was the first person I sent it to. Man, hold on a second, y'all.
I can send it to him too.
Hold on. Yeah, just shoot it to his IG real quick. For some reason, my drawing acting crazy.
I just did.
All right. Shane, that's my fault, bro. He said, I know I'm right. Hey, man, you was right on this one, bro. Yeah, so we're gonna get right into it, man. Ryan Garcia got his punishment for the positive drug test that he had for the fight against Devin Haney. And what I would like to do, fellas, is actually just read what he actually got. So I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Actually, let's do that. Big shout out to everybody watching, man. For sure. Everybody that's tuning in. Let's see. Yo, my computer is active full right now, yo. Okay. So it says here. Yo, this junk going crazy, bro. Hold on.
It's on the screen.
It's on the screen? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan Garcia is being suspended for 1 year and forced to return his guaranteed purse money, and his April 20th victory over Devin Haney has been changed to a no contest. The New York State Athletic Commission announced Thursday. 25-year-old Garcia, 24-1, additionally was fined $10,000. Garcia submitted two. Yo, my train going crazy. Let me get out of this. Hold on. I don't know what's going on my laptop. But basically, he was suspended for a year. He had to forfeit his $1.1 million purse, the initial purse, and then he was fined an additional $10,000. Let me get in the comment section really quick. Scotty, what's going on, bro? He says salute G5, Log, Shane, Ty. Big shout out to you, bro. My guy J.O. in the building, man. He says salute G5 in the panel, man. J.O., what's up with you? Hey, man, get on my IG, man. We gotta link up for the boots fight, bro. Vlog, I'm gonna let you rip first on this one. Can you just give me your original thoughts on the punishment? Do you think it was fair, not fair? Do you think it was too light? Like, let me know what you think.
I think it was too light. First of all, let's talk about the time. 1 year, dudes like this don't fight but once a year, maybe twice, if they can get them names in there. But that rarely happens where these dudes fight big fights twice a year. So 1 year is fraudulent of a punishment time. Secondly, the purse bid situation. Why not double that? What's a $10,000 fine? You already took $1 million from me. Another million would really hurt. You understand what I'm talking about? Secondly, it's not enough to fix the wrong. At this point in time, this is where you set precedent. This is where you say, for the first time in boxing, we're going to do something different. We're going to change the game. And we using outside entities to help enforce this rule, such as lobbyists, such as insurance companies that insure these boxers. Because what it's going to take is for somebody to literally get hurt, and one of these insurance companies got to pay a lifetime of medical bills behind somebody. Then shit have changed. Why we got to come to that? Why somebody got to be turned into an eggplant before something happens? Positively to say, stop this shit. Get in there and do your best, or not, don't get in there. Like, come on, 1 year, $1 million, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, it's fraud.
Hey, bro, what if you could have laid out the punishment? Let me know exactly what it would be from you.
For me, for a dude like this, you take him off the market for about 3 years. Kill it. Just. I mean, bro, him not being associated with boxing for 3 years will kill everything else he doing. So you gotta affect their pockets to make them stop doing this shit. 3 year suspension, double up. So if you lost the purse, that means the investment into the fight was also lost. That means any future recordings of the fights that could be sold or things like that, these people losing out money on. So you see what I'm saying? So you gotta affect them pockets by doubling down and really hitting somebody, even somebody of his ilk who can afford it. Then that's who you gotta hit. You understand what I'm saying? The fine should go accordingly to what level of boxing that you at, what level of your earnings that you at. So a $10,000 fine ain't shit to somebody that just make $1 million on average a fight. So again, okay. I'm talking a severe punishment, bro, and set precedent. Don't do this to a no-name middle rank type fighter, regional type of guy who made this mistake. Nobody's gonna see that. Nobody's gonna remember that. You set precedent by doing that to the big names and a guy who's not really a titleist. So you're not quote unquote taking him out the title picture or anything like that. But it's good enough to scare the guys that might be heading into this title situation and they think they might want to get a boost for eliminator type of fight that they might be in or whatever. You could clean this shit up by set precedents on these big names, and it'll only take one commission. It'll take a commission from Vegas, take a New York commission to say this is what we doing.
Okay. Hey, Legend, get on in here, man. Like, did you think the punishment was fair, not fair? What's your thoughts on it?
I think it was fair, to be honest. I think this is probably the longest suspension behind Big Baby Miller. Ryan Garcia, his A test came back positive, the B test came back positive. So a year, I mean, like Vlog was saying, a lot of fighters don't even fight once a year anyway. So, I mean, a year is going to fly by. So a year will fly by, he'll be right back in there. And like, as far as the money thing, he didn't get that much of a punishment. You know what I'm saying? He got like one of the biggest punches when he fought Tank Davis, 30 million, 50 million, something like that. So he got a huge payday. So like the money's not going to really hurt him, and a year of suspension is not going to really hurt him. But I do think that they definitely made an example out of him, and the fighters in the future, they need to take notice with this. Definitely don't get on the PDs. Like you're going to get a serious punishment. We made an example out of Ryan. It's going to happen to anybody else.
Yeah, let me get the comment section real quick. Lavelle Jackson, big shout out to you, family. He said they need to make an example of Garcia, and I'm disgusted by the defending the Garcia.
That's me, man.
Moralizing the Haney.
I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, so I think with somebody as big as Ryan Garcia, it's a situation where, yes, you do have to make an example out of him because you're trying to deter other people from actually doing this. So I'm going to lay it out in a different way than Ty Finney and Vlog did. So he made a crazy money off the Tank fight, right? He made really good money off of the Haney fight. And on top of that, he put $1 million, he bet money on himself and won $12 million on top of the purse. On top of the purse. I want people to remember that. Okay. Now, You got to look at it from Ryan Garcia's end. Okay, so I made what he made, what 30 million, 50 million off Tank,
Yep.
30 to 50 million off of Tank, right? Probably made about 30 million off of Haney. So we're talking between 60 to 80 million dollars that he's banked in the last two fights. Ryan Garcia fights once or twice a year. So if I'm Ryan Garcia, I'm like, okay, I gotta pay $1 million for not making weight. Then I gotta pay another $1 million as a punishment and another 10,000. So that's 2 million, $10,000. Am I willing to pay 2 million and $10,000 for a return of 60 to 80 million dollars? Don't sound like much of a deterrent to me. You're actually influencing people to do it because the positive money is gonna outweigh the negative money. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. So I'm like, how can you make an example of a guy with this big of a name and this much money? And really, the only way you can do it is suspend him for way more than a year. Now, I wouldn't say 3 years. I would say probably two. Two, he'll feel it. He'll feel it in 2 years. But that's a very difficult situation, and it's kind of like, what's the proper punishment? But we're really doing this live because I really want to talk to the people that actually like. There's a lot of people, and Ty, you can attest to this. There's a lot of people on social media. They are more upset with Bill Haney than they are with Ryan Garcia, and I'm like, I want to understand those people because those people are the ones that I don't understand, like the energy. You know what I mean? Let me get in the comments real quick. Um, Tommy Dokes, big shout out to you, family. Said Povetkin, Lucas Brown, White, Valdez, Canelo, Neri, Ben, Stavern, Luis Ortiz all failed drug tests, got 6 to 12 months at best. Big Baby Miller failed multiple tests and only got 2 years. Correct. So, Tommy Dokes, I'll ask you this question. Did those punishments deter anyone? Did those punishments deter anyone? Because at the end of the day, you have to understand that they take that amount of time off between fights anyway. I think the only one that really deterred was really Big Baby Miller because he owed money in other places. But let me get Vlog back in here.
My bad on the tech issues. And,
nah, we didn't even hear it, bro.
Don't
we didn't even hear it. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yes, sir. Mic check. All
right.
I'm in the Valley of the Sun, so that background,
I feel you. You got a little background there.
Yeah, it's out of my control.
That's cool.
That being said, though, man, as I was saying, bro, something really has to change. I kind of disagree with Legend, and I hate to do that. He definitely He definitely should have more time and a bigger.
You said 3 years.
Yeah.
You said 3. I said 2. Legend said the 1 is. I guess the 1 is the highest it's been since Big Baby Miller, like flat out a year. And I want to get into something else too. Bruce Gas in the building. He said, "Oh shit, G5 live, man. Hey man, every Sunday, bro. Every Sunday. Hey, listen, if you're not subscribed to Bruce Gas, bro, you gotta be subscribed to Bruce Gas, man. Like he has one of the best boxing channels, period. Especially if you're a boxing fan for a long time. He brings that element to where he's probably more so talking about prior boxing than current boxing. He has Tim Witherspoon on there all the time, man. Like that's one of the best channels. It's one of my favorite channels, man. Definitely go subscribe to Bruce Gas, man. Definitely. My guy Tommy Dose, he said, "I'm cool with long suspensions, but we got to do that to everybody, not just the ones who are high profile." I'm glad you said that. Glad you said that because Tommy Dokes, with the high profile guys, those are the ones who get your message across a little bit better. If it's a guy that's 10-0 and he's just a local guy, you give him a 2-year suspension. That's not going to really hit because it's not going to hit the masses. Ryan Garcia gets a 2-3 year suspension. That's going to hit the masses. You understand what I'm saying? Like, punishment is like, it's kind of like this. You could tell a kid, hey, you on punishment for a month and you got to stay in your room, but his room got the PlayStation 5 and a couple of refrigerators in it. How much punishment is it? You understand what I'm saying? There's really no punishment. You know what I mean? He gonna be in there chilling until it's time for him to get out, and that's essentially what this is. Like, Ryan Garcia is literally sitting on probably $60 to $80 million over this one situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though it was morally wrong, and I'm like, you could have changed somebody's life financially, he came out straight, which is, it's unfair, but that's what it is. Tommy Doak said boxing drug test suspensions are a joke, but now we are going to crack down hard on Ryan. I'm just asking for the sport to keep that same energy with all boxers. Yes, and they should have that same energy with all boxers. But the thing is, this is something that we've been talking about since the beginning of the boxing time. There's not a one commission. There's not one body that governs the sport. Every state has its own, legislature and all of that. So it's very hard to do that, but generally speaking, yes, it should be like that, Tommy, for sure. Tommy says Canelo was high profile. Yes, he was high profile, but the thing about some of these guys, they will throw away morality for money. Canelo brings a lot of money. Ryan brings a lot of money, and sometimes in the business world, the morale takes a back seat. A lot of times, morale takes the back seat. But I want to ask y'all this question. Legend, I'm gonna start with you. On social media, there's a lot of people that have more negative energy towards Devin Haney and Bill Haney over the person that actually tested positive for the PEDs. Like, how much have you seen that just on social media, and can you actually explain why it's like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just like, they're negative towards Bill anyway, because he's the one that's always doing the talking. Devin Haney's not really doing the talking. Bill Haney's the one on the video with Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Bill Haney's the one fussing with Adrian Broner. So I think a lot of people just like to get on Bill for, like, he's always in the spotlight doing all the talking and not Devin. And Ryan Garcia, he's the one that has like 10 million followers on IG. He has the bigger following. You know what I'm saying? So I can see, him having more people that's going to back him up and not Haney. You know what I'm saying? And we never seen nobody put the pause on Haney in this fashion. You know what I'm saying? So, Haney took a beating, and I just think that everybody just going to be on Ryan's side. Just because of how bad that beating was.
That's a good point. Vlog, what you think about that, bro?
Legend, you coming out of left field today. You say he took a beating? I don't know if it was a beating. He lost a fight. I don't know if
hey, Blunt. Hold on.
He got dropped.
Hold on, Legend. What I don't see what's in your hand, brother. What's in your other hand?
Oh, we smoking on that goods, but I'm just saying.
But
bro,
wasn't he winning? He was winning some of them rounds, bro. It wasn't like he was getting shut out.
No, that you talking about the cards though, but he got beat up though. He got beat up.
His face was busted up. He got dropped 3 times.
He got beat up.
But you talking about getting beat up by a dude that was on some goddamn space juice. This motherfucker went to Mars and got some of that dust, cooked it down.
Hey, vlog, but the thing was,
I don't know if that's
Legend City got beat up in the fight.
I don't know if
Ryan
you can
fans is gonna go on.
But that's my thing. I don't know if you can use beat up when you know the circumstances around the quote unquote beat up.
He was illegally beat up.
That's like saying you 12. No, hold up. That's like saying you 12, right, and a 21-year-old dude put the hands on you. This motherfucker 21. You see what I mean? Like, come on, come on now, beat up.
But it still happened though.
So are you going to tell this 12-year-old he got beat up?
So we got to come up with a different phrase for it then.
That's all I'm saying.
So what you got for me? What you got?
I just say he lost to a guy that had to, do some extra things.
He
He
lost.
was in the
He lost to the
laboratory.
guy with the super juices.
Man, he went to Planet Nova. You know what I'm saying? And he got the mixture from the gods.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
I'm
Let me
just
get
saying.
these comments real quick, bro. I feel you, though. I feel you. Tommy Dokes, Devin coming out with that video after the suspension was handed down, dancing came off soft, in my opinion. I didn't really like it. First of all, I don't like his dancing. He looks super stiff. Uh, if he need to take some of them juices and loosen up some of them dance moves, I think he need to go ahead and take them, vlog. He looked a little stiff on the dance moves now.
I gotta agree with Tommy with that one. That this is where you take the high road. You know what I mean? If anything, you could be a spokesman for helping to clean the sport up.
Facts.
To be like, yo, we need to take this to the next level. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, would it take change for somebody to be turned into a vegetable? And like I said, for one of these insurance companies who insure these big fighters to have to be like, yo, we're not covering nobody. And then something will change. I guarantee you get some money moving around, and some of these big companies really get affected in their purses and in their own pockets. They're gonna be like, yo, hold up, man, y'all better fix that, or we'll fix it and we won't cover none of your events. And you have to have medical coverage to be in any combat field.
Bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Put one thing in. Did y'all see the fighter that had the seizure?
Yeah. That was bad.
You see that, vlog?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So y'all, I just want to paint the picture a little bit. He had a seizure. At the time, we didn't know. Like, is it going to take for, let's just say hypothetically, Devin Haney does that in the fight with Ryan Garcia, and then you find out he was on the space juice.
Bro, that's to me.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's charges.
That's charges. We got to be careful. We got to be careful.
They walking a thin line. They are walking a thin line with this one year purse thing. He didn't even put up the purse money. So how was that affecting him?
They said, okay, so they said the purse money, they said the majority of that went back to Golden Boy.
Again, that's not him.
No, understood. But when he gave the money back, it didn't go to the commission. I'm like, as long as it didn't go to the commission, I'm cool with it. It either should have went to Golden Boy, it should have went to Haney. You know what I mean?
Let's just say something like that did go back to the commission. The commission would be in turn in a position to start putting away money for medical situations.
They would have to show me proof of that.
No, but I'm just saying, like, this is a situation where you could turn a bad into a good. No, are they making these extra steps? Are they really setting a precedent? They're not doing it.
Yeah, if they were to do that, I would be cool with that. I'm just saying I don't trust the commission. They would have to show me proof.
That's what I'm saying. They're not really making a precedent with this move. It's not a precedent.
I understand. My guy DM3 in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. He said my understanding of why people are so mad at Bill is because of the lack of masculinity. Too many people, too many soy boys, not enough true boxing fans and masculine men. Let me address that real quick. So DM3, my issue with people that have an issue with Bill Haney and Devin Haney. Now, if you have an issue with them too, cool. If you just don't like them too, cool. But don't ignore the fact that there was two combatants in the ring, right? And one of them was on the space juice. Now, you could say it was tainted supplements or whatever. I'm like, bottom line is one person took tainted supplements and the other one didn't. And then there's not a good reputation, not with Ryan Garcia, but just the camp that he came from. That Reynoso pack is potent. That thing from Mars. You know what I'm saying?
Infamous.
From Mars.
That's infamous.
Sure. That is an infamous pack. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta. I'm like, you can have your opinion of Bill and Devin Haney. I'm just
let me just
bring
add
everything full circle though.
Let me just add this one real quick.
Yes, sir.
wherever he got his recipe hidden at, it's got to be in a Fort Knox type of place because he got to have a recipe and it's hidden somewhere. It's not with the family. I'm gonna tell you that.
Hey, Blunt, that recipe is up there with the McDonald's fries fresh out the
up there
street,
with that KFC recipe, homie.
Yeah, man. It's just some recipes. It's just top secret, man. That Reynoso pack.
That is infamous, bro.
Yeah, that's infamous for sure, man. Tommy Doak's back in. Says now Devin is salty because his purse bid with Sandor Martin was 2.4 million, meaning he'll get 1.5. Nobody was bidding on that. So let me address that too. So basically with Devin Haney, when you have a belt, these are situations that you're going to have to run into. Now, because there's a purse bid, right? And the purse bid was 2.4. He can always go to Top Rank and work out something on the side. It's kind of similar to the Canelo purse bid that was scheduled, but it was really step aside money. You can always work something out behind the scenes because Top Rank needs something like a Devin Haney on a card or in front of their television screen. He can work something out. So he has two choices. He can either drop the WBC belt or he can go about his business. Now, me personally, I don't want to see a Devin Haney Sandor Martin fight. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? It has the potential to be an exciting fight, but it's going to take for Haney to be the aggressor. Sandor Martin is not an exciting fighter, period. But Vlog, like what you think about that situation? You think he should just drop the belt or he should just take the 1.5 and get that Sandor Martin fight out the way? You on mute, baby. You on mute.
Sorry, my bad. This is an opportunity to get your mental right, because all of that, I'm leaving the game for 2 years and that weird old talk. Listen, bro, get back on the horse and ride that motherfucker till the wheels fall off. You already know if this dude wasn't juiced that he couldn't beat you. Just that simple. He already was on weight and all of this nonsense, so he not taking the game seriously. You are a dude that's taking the game very seriously. Continue to do that. You know what I mean? And this is a great fight. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This is that fight where you need to see that aggression from a Devin Haney. So this is a perfect opportunity for him to let some steam off, so to speak. You understand what I'm talking about? Sandor Martin is a worthy opponent. He's a dude that's accomplished a couple things in the game. You know what I mean? One of them dudes that, come out out of the woodworks, but been over there working and doing his thing, and now the light
arguably beat Teofimo too. I
thought that was a very close fight. At worst, I would have gave that a draw towards his side. You know what I mean? He was a bit more aggressive in that. He wasn't as accurate as he could have been. He was way more accurate against the Garcia, which I think maybe his size helped him in that fight too, because he was able to absorb whatever Mikey was throwing at him too. So that just was a bad matchup for them. You know what I mean? I don't know why they thought that was a good matchup. But anyway, that again, that's Reynoso and them. They be tripping when they be making moves. They be tripping when they be tripping. So anyway, I don't want to get on Mikey and them and his dad. Right. Let's not go there. But Sandor, definitely, I think this should be a great fight. To me, it's actually a 65-35 fight, because if you, like you said, if you don't have an aggressive Haney, that opens the door for Sandor to do enough to win some rounds.
I agree with that. Legend, what you think about that fight? Is that a fight that interests you, or do you feel like Haney should go in a different direction?
I think that's the right stuff, I think that's the right stuff, because I'm saying, like, I'm not going to say he took a beating, but he lost. But just to get back in the field of things, I think Sandor Martin is a perfect opponent. But to true boxing fans, they're looking at it like, nah, I don't want to see that. But I think it's a step in the right direction, and I would definitely take it.
Now, I actually agree with both of y'all. On that. Just for Haney's career and his psyche, I think a Sandor Martin fight would be a good fight for him. Actually, there's like 2 or 3 fights that he can actually take right now, and to get his mind right.
I got another name.
Throw it.
Hooker.
Who?
Michael Hooker.
Who? Maurice Hooker?
Yeah, Maurice. I'm Michael. Maurice Hooker.
I don't know. I don't even know if Maurice fighting, bro.
I mean,
he might be on the show.
Dude that might need a check. You know what I mean? He ain't got to worry about being hurt, so to speak. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
you got to look at it this way too. Haney can't just fight anybody either, though.
Again, Michael Hooker is a beatable. I mean, Maurice Hooker. I don't know why I got Michael on my mind. I'm thinking the damn fucking thinking of damn Michael Irvin because that's who he reminds me of. Maybe it's a Texas thing or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think neither guy is dangerous to each other. So as a bounce back fight, as for a dude that's been off the radar, you know, get some limelight in there with a decent name, a respectable name, and a guy he ain't got to worry about hurting him. Because that's the thing that might have affected a fighter like Hooker. Him being hurt that way in these last couple fights, that'll take you out the game to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But for on the flip side, for Haney, he know why he was hurt that way. This dude was on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers juice. So I'm just saying.
What's up?
Yo, we got VP Shane in the building, man. Yo, this dude vlog is crazy, bro.
What's
Big
up?
shout out to Shane, man. What's up with you, bro?
I've been watching it on my phone whilst you guys have been talking. I just been kind of busy, so
Hey, Shane, real quick, man. I'm a double back. Do you think the Ryan Garcia punishment was fair, unfair, in between? What
see
what you have done?
so naturally, this is before Blunt spoke because Blunt made some really good points. But before Blunt spoke, my opinion was very clear. And if we're going on precedents or things that's happened previously, it's a very strict punishment. Normally, it's a 6 months ban. And the process that the New York State Athletic Commission have, I don't necessarily agree with it because they don't focus enough on whether it was purpose ingestion or just contamination. Like with Canelo, they said it was contamination. That's why he got 6 months. They didn't even care. They didn't even investigate whether it was purpose or not. However, Blunt did bring up a good point. This is a perfect opportunity to create a precedent, to set a landmark or to set a benchmark and say, here's a high profile athlete who failed a drug test in a big fight. I am going to ban him and prevent other people um from doing it in future. This is the thing what I find. There's two things I want to talk about. One is that for me, if Ryan Garcia doesn't get any back end money, 1.1 million as a ban is as a fine from a commission is good. From a commission is good. However, if I'm Devin Haney, I'm suing on top of that. Here's why. Because this fight has been deemed as a no contest. So, for one, we're all accepting that this fight shouldn't have taken place. With that being said, though, I've got so much damage in terms of my. Remember, we are a brand. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain as a fighter, we are a brand, and whilst it may be removed from my record, it's not removed from the minds of the public. And the truth is, this can affect potential earning. As we see, the purse bid for Sandor Martin was 2.4 million. You know what I'm saying? This can potentially affect potential earning because people have just seen me get knocked out. Whether it's a no contest or not, that is still defamed and affected my character and my brand regardless of whether it was a legal fight or not. It's more than that. And for
Can
me, that's what I would have done. And
can I
that's what
add
I
on
think
to
was
that?
happening.
Can I
Go
add
on.
on to that? The no contest thing is actually still on your record.
Of course it is. It's still on
So,
your.
and the thing about a no contest, it doesn't tell the general public who is the paying population what went wrong.
Not
That
even
might
just that. In
suggest that you did something wrong.
in 50 years' time, when there is only box rec, people may not like people will just see that no NC. You know what I'm saying? They
And
will
they
just see that NC. They won't see like there's an NC on Tevin Farmer's record right now. I bet none of you guys know why. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just my point. Now, whilst Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney was a high profile fight, it's still on his record as an NC. For me, not only that. it has prevented Devin Haney to move forward because Devin Haney's counter argument could have been, if I had beaten Ryan Garcia in a fair fight, I can now move forward with my career in terms of, for one, I've had to go through a legal process, but for two, I would have been the face of boxing. That could have been his argument. If I
That's what
had
I'm
won,
saying. Yeah, that's
I
facts.
would have
I agree
been
with
that
that.
guy.
Yeah,
I would
he
have
would have
been.
been tight.
Can you think
Yo,
about it? He would have beaten Loma, Regis, Ryan. That would. I'm not saying he would have beaten Ryan, but that's
but
the
you can make
argument
the case.
Devin would make.
I,
I would have been the face of that of boxing, and
I
I
let me Shane, let me add on to that. And that's a great angle that you just gave because I haven't heard anybody give that angle in terms of actually suing because of you
But
affected
what's the
potential
name
earnings.
mentioned he was getting sued? So is that a
Oh,
suit from the Haneys?
I
Garcia?
haven't
no, but
heard.
they were suing on this on the basis of on the basis of the fact that he has of damages like physical damages, mental damages, and that's fair. But haven't been suing in the basis of financial damage. Like this is
Yeah,
case one is the Sandor Martin fight. This is the lowest purse Devin has ever been offered since he's become world champion. Is it a coincidence that it's at the back of losing to Ryan
right.
Garcia? Like the
Yeah,
argument that Javante Tank Davis says is the reason why I don't have to fight him is because he lost to Ryan. That's an argument that many people can make. So it's affected his financial purse moving forward.
I
Period. We can't say that
yeah
that's a lie.
I haven't heard anyone make that argument. And yes, I do agree with that. Is it subjective? Yes, it's subjective. But if the Haney's was to go through that process and actually sue Ryan Garcia for those reasons, not only would they have a legit case, I don't know if they would win the case because it's subjective, but the fact that they're going through that process, that sets a precedent as well for the
No,
big match.
what you do is you combine the arguments.
That's fine. I'm cool
put
with that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
cool
I'm
with
saying.
that. I'm
Because
cool with that.
one supports the other. You understand what I'm saying? One supports
But
the other.
if you combine the arguments, the fact that one superstar fighter is suing another superstar fighter after a positive PED test, that's gonna I think that would have just as big of an effect on other big time fighters that are thinking about doing PEDs as well, because they're gonna be like, well, damn,
This
if I whip his
precedent.
ass, what if he sues me for $20 million?
All these things we bringing up are part of the precedents.
But
And
with
Yes,
Ryan
yes,
it
Garcia,
has to
yeah,
be
yes,
said. It has to
with,
be
with
set.
I
with
agree.
with Ryan Garcia is one thing, but here's the thing: the money's gone back to Golden Boy, and it's obvious because that fight's become a no contest. However, the people who have paid, the people who paid for the stadium, the people who's paid for the pay-per-views at home, those people don't get their money back. So my question is, Golden Boy have just made a world of money because they didn't have to pay Ryan back end money and they don't have to pay Ryan because the fact that it became a no contest. I mean, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney both spoke about they haven't received their back end money. Ryan Garcia will receive no back end money now unless him and Golden Boy have a deal in the
So
background.
he didn't have no deal for no backhand money.
No, he whip. If the fight's a no contest, you violated the terms of the contract. I don't have to pay you nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
You violated the terms of
That's
the
simple.
contract. I don't have to pay you
Yeah.
anything.
Why would I finish paying
But
you and you
Why
but
done
would I
fucked
finish
up?
paying
originally,
you if the Golden Boy just literally walked home with a bag of money? Devin Haney will get his money because he hasn't violated the contract. If I'm Golden Boy, I'm going to Ryan Garcia now. They may not say that because they may have a good they may have a better relationship than they had before. But
that's where I'm going. That's
if
why I'm
I'm
like,
Golden Boy,
that's his fighter though.
indeed. But if let's say it was a neutral, let's say it
Right,
was someone who he couldn't make money from in future. And the reason how
right.
I know this is because um this happened with Eddie Hearn before. This happened with Eddie
Okay,
Hearn and this happened with Eddie Hearn actually multiple times where
okay.
if you take a loss, if you've taken a loss because in certain situations you would have to pay like you don't get when you get your purse, you don't get your purse up front. You get your
Okay.
purse like in segments. So you get some of your
Correct.
money before camp, at the end of camp. The reason how I know this is because Eddie Hearn said Gerald Miller still owes him money from the AJ fight because he paid the
Correct.
money for the fight that he didn't take. But
Correct.
The funny thing about it is, and this is probably the funniest thing is, if Golden Boy couldn't make potential earnings from Ryan Garcia moving forward, the argument that I would make if I'm Golden Boy is I am not going to pay you a cent because you violated the terms of the contract and this fight is now a no contest. If that's the case, Golden Boy are smiling right now. Like they
Well,
are
I'm
actually
gonna tell
laughing.
you this: Golden Boy got the upper hand with him just on this back money situation, just based on the fact that they don't know what the potential future earnings for him is, based on motherfuckers know you a cheater. So
And
is
That's a good
if
point
anybody?
Golden
too.
Boy, if
Good
I'm
Yeah,
point too.
Golden Boy, I'll go even one step further and say, well, I had a fight scheduled for you. You have a free fight deal with us. I have a fight scheduled for you later this year, but now you got a 1 year ban. Even if they didn't, now you got a 1 year ban. That's potential learnings that I've lost again because you are a person who I've signed a deal with, and we have X amount of fights within X amount of time. I've lost a year off your contract now.
but again, does that really hurt him? You understand what I'm saying? Like
But it's
it
the
doesn't.
precedent though. It's the
Yeah,
precedent, like you said.
but unless they're making that type of discussion public to let other promotions know, look, you gotta make a stance with these guys and say, yo, we being upfront. This business is viewable.
Vlog. Let me say this real quick. If they are going back and forth on that, Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia is gonna get out. You got a smaller
Okay.
situation between Spence and Derek James, and that's all over the place. And they're not as big as Ryan Garcia in terms of the social media space, the media
But
space.
I
You know,
get, I get
I
what you're
fully
saying.
expect for
do
that to
you
get
guys
out in the
remember
public.
when Mikey Garcia was on the bench at Top Rank, where Top Rank did just had him on the bench for
Yes,
2 years, didn't schedule a fight for him,
yes,
and he had to wait out his 2 years.
yes,
Now imagine,
yes.
imagine if, imagine if it was a fighter who you actually had, a fighter who you did have 2 years, who weren't looking to sign an extension with you, and you now lost a year of their year of their career where you can Eddie Hearn's just signed Jerome Boots Ennis. Let's say it's a 3 year deal, and in his next fight, I know this will never happen, and God forbid this ever happens, but Jerome Ennis gets a 1 year ban. That's 1 year Matchroom's lost off his contract, and let's say after 2 years they don't want to sign an extension. That could potentially happen.
Yeah, and listen, that's it, and that's great. I mean, there's great points all across the board. And these are things that these are conversations. Let me make this clear to everybody that's watching. We don't want to have this conversation. Like, we don't want to have this conversation. We want all our fighters to be clean at the end of the day. But when you got people that's trying to get an edge, you got these Reynoso packs and space juice and the finest juices and all that flowing
And
around in these
the
boxing
argument that
streets.
No, I
Go
was
ahead,
gonna
bro.
say the argument that people make about he's left Reynoso. Who's to say he hasn't been doing this whole time? I can tell you this now. There wasn't drug testing for the tank fight. They weren't drug testing for the tank. They weren't 12-week VADA testing for the tank fight. They weren't 12-week VADA testing for the Duarte fight. They weren't 12-week.
I ain't
So
gonna
how
I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of them PBC fights.
That go
It
without
ain't no
testing.
drug test. Ain't no
Yeah,
drug testing. I ain't
yeah.
gonna get into it, but if you know, you know.
That's
Um,
my point. So
yeah,
who's to say that he ain't been on it this whole time? People keep
yeah.
saying, "Oh, how come he didn't fail a drug test for fights before?" Because there weren't 12-week drug
Yeah.
testing. Like any
And
fight that involves Eddie Hearn, there's gonna be 12-week drug
yeah,
testing.
and another thing is they'll say, "Oh well, Ryan." Before I get into the comments, they'll say, "Oh well, Ryan tested positive on this day, but he tested negative on that day." Even if that's the case, that's a clear sign that a fighter is cycling off something. When you're cycling off, your test results can be different within a matter of
But I
days.
mean, a clear sign of guilt was when him and his lawyer tried to strike a deal with the New York State Athletic Commission.
Hold on, let me speak on that real quick. Shane, they actually negotiated that deal.
That's what
Just to
I'm
make that
saying.
clear, they negotiated this. Anybody that has an issue with Ryan Garcia's punishment, don't be mad because Ryan Garcia and his team negotiated that.
Like
You're not
for me,
negotiating anything if you're not guilty.
one thing I'll give Conor Ben credit on. If this nigga is innocent, bro, this nigga refuses. Because he could sit down with the British Boxing Board of Control at any stage. He refuses. To this day, he refuses because he
Hey,
refuses to accept fault.
hey Shane, remember the old video? Me and Vlog put out a video, and Vlog was like he was sipping like tainted breast milk or some shit.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, bro.
I gotta
Ryan
find
Garcia,
that video, bro.
he's almost accepted guilt on that. Like Conor Benn is a person who, if he's innocent or not, if he even if he's guilty, he's refusing to
He's
accept
sticking
guilt.
to the script. He's sticking to the
Literally.
script for sure. Let me jump in these comments real quick.
Go ahead.
Tommy Goats, he said Devin's stock is way down. Yeah, I mean it is down.
I think both their stocks is down. If you tried to get
Facts.
Garcia in a fight right now, nobody's going to be prepaying for that shit.
I mean, Ryan Garcia. The funniest thing is, all publicity is good publicity, and even the fact that he's been trashed through the media, it's good publicity in the long run because he is being spoken about for either a villain, like to be a villain, a future villain. The issue that you have with Ryan Garcia is, and his conduct hasn't been. If I'm Golden Boy, if I'm Top Rank, if I'm Matchroom, if I'm PBC, I will be reluctant to work with him moving forward. Let me just put it that way. I would be reluctant to work with him moving forward.
That's fair. English guy, he said, big shout out to English guy too. He said, you have to make the suspensions long enough that somebody's ability to earn is impacted, but not so long that it ruins a career. I think a year is about right. DM3, he said,
no, hold on. Not when you fighting once a year, bro. What does a year do? If you're only fighting once a year doesn't do literally anything. Because the first thing you're going to do is take another fight at the top of the year. Could be a cupcake just to get out there type of thing or whatever. It doesn't do anything.
I think the greater focus, and this is what I would do. I would do this, and this is what I think every commission should do this, which is we're going to ban you for whatever length of time. We can ban you for a year. In Blunt's case, 2 years. In the UK, some fighters get banned for 2 to 3 years. But this is the most important thing. Every fight that you have within our commission, within our state, or within our country is you have to pay. You have to, out of your own pocket, have to pay for 12-week drug testing. Out of your own pocket.
That's a great, you know what? That's a great precedent to set as well. Because them drug testing prices is a mofo, boy.
It's about 30,000. It's about 30,000 a fight.
Yeah, and it's all about just setting an example. I actually agree with that. DM3 said he got assaulted by a cheater. Is assaulted? Is that good, Blunt? He said he ain't like Haney got beat up. Is assaulted by a cheater?
It was a mugging. I can go with that. I can go with that. It was a mugging.
Okay. All right, cool. English guy said Jeff's point about 6 months being the time a lot of guys take between fights is good. It doesn't serve as much of a deterrent. I'd be okay with a 1 to 2 years so long as there's consistency. Yeah, I mean, I think
can't be consistency. This is the
each
thing,
case is different. The non-superstar, a year is probably cool. The superstar, you probably need to do 2 or 3. Because they're not going to be affected by the one.
A case by case, you're 100% right, Jeff. You can never set, like for me, you can't set sentences based on standard. Because as you say, each case is different. And in the New York State Athletic Commission, they did not, and this is what's annoying, they did not investigate enough on whether it was contamination or deliberate.
Right.
Because if it's contamination, you shouldn't receive the same penalty as someone who's deliberately taken drugs. And for me, that's not focused enough. That's not focused enough because being a public cheat, like, if one thing that Canelo can always say was I ate, even though people may not believe it, he can say I was contaminated. If you have to openly say I am a drug cheat, I knowingly took performance enhancing drugs, like Gerald Miller, he will be forever known as a drug cheat. For me, that ruins a reputation much more.
I agree. Let me get up in here. Michael Larkins, he said facts. Big shout out to you, family. Subscribe to the channels too if you're not already subscribed. My goodness, man. My guy Blaze Philly 215 in the building. What's good, fellas? Big shout out to you, bro. Hope everything good with you. Shane Solis, what's going on? He said
This
many
must be my
people. We
burner
got
account.
Shane. Yeah, Shane got his relatives in his joint. He said many people are mad at Haney and his dad because they are Ryan fans and feel like he's just not accepting the loss. Ryan fans are a
Can I
majority.
touch on this, by the way? But continue.
Yeah, okay. Ryan fans are a majority made of people who do not trust media or commissions. Go ahead, Shane.
I don't know what people expect from Devin. I don't know what people expect from Devin
His
because
dad going to defend him. It's
his
his
dad's
son.
going to
It's
defend
his
him,
son.
and you've just been given a lifeline. And when I mean a lifeline, I mean in the sense that when he lost the night after the fight, nothing made sense to him.
Yeah.
Nothing at all made sense to him.
And can I add this real quick before I move to the next comment? I want y'all to know that they fought 6 times in the amateurs. They fought 7 times total.
Yeah.
Neither guy beat up either guy 6 times. Like they were all competitive fights, even though it was the amateurs. They were all competitive fights.
And in the pros, Ryan has done nothing in comparison to Devin.
Correct. So the 7th time, there's space juice involved, and all of a sudden, he's just getting down. Like you have to factor that in. Like they've been in the ring 6 times. 6.
Like Devin would be thinking, what the hell happened? Like, what is it? Something wrong with me? Is it something wrong with my dad?
Listen, now I'm not gonna lie. The one thing that I do agree with, he could not get away from that left hook from the beginning of the fight. He could not get away from that lead left hook.
I disagree, Jeff. I disagree.
He couldn't get away from that lead left hook.
He could. I'll give Bill Haney credit for one thing. I want everybody. I've seen this fight over 20 times since that fight's taken place. Because I was shocked myself when I watched the fight. Go and listen to the corner after the first round. After Bill Haney, everyone go home or wherever you are. Listen to the corner after the first round. Bill Haney says, "Stop trying to catch it, roll the left hook. Stop trying to catch the left hook, roll it." If you watch it, then round 2 and round 3, he starts to roll the left hook. Round 4, he starts to go back to catching it. And from when he went to catch it, that's when he couldn't get out of the way of the left hook.
Right, but that's why I'm saying he couldn't avoid it. You're talking strategy. I agree with the strategy. You can either catch it or you can roll with it. The reason why you roll with it with Ryan Garcia is because it comes at the same angle,
Facts.
but the speed is really crazy. So that's why you got to roll with it. So
your hands aren't fast enough to go from here to
exactly.
Here. Your hands aren't fast
exactly. Enough. You'll be quick. You'll be better off trying to roll with the shot or something like that. So I do agree with that. Tommy Dokes, he said Sandor Martin arguably dropped T.O. twice, but one wasn't counted. I do agree with that. Scotty said Liam Poirot got the IBF title over there in Australia, and Haney is no stranger to winning over there. That's a solid point. And I haven't heard anybody say that too, Scotty.
The Eddie Hearn wanted that fight. That's why Eddie Hearn didn't bid for the Sandor Martin fight because he promotes Liam Poirot. He wanted the unification.
That's a good point. DM3 said, I got a question. Do you think Devin Haney has no chin, or was it the juice that kept getting him knocked down? Good question.
It's a bit of mixture of both.
What you think, Vlog?
It's the juice, bro. Because
what kind of juice was it again, bro?
Bro, he was on that Mighty Morphin Thundercats mixture. He had that old G.I. Joe juice, baby. He's on that old school throwback that's sitting in the freezer waiting for the right time. Bust it out, bro. God damn. Bro, because look, had he been getting clipped like that before that? Had anybody, he got clipped by Jorge. That's the last time I remember somebody really tagging him. Loma never really, had him shaking in his boots like that.
Loma did hurt him in that fight, though.
Loma clipped him. Yeah, again, clips. That's different from getting put on your ass. Getting clipped is different.
I agree.
I'll be honest, though, bro. I think Devin Haney's powers of recovery are actually so underrated as well. Because the reason why I say that is because when he got clipped by Linares, watch what in the next round, he absolutely just schooled Linares. Even in the video with Tank Davis, he gets caught with Tank by a shot that would knock dudes out. He's wobbling. He ends up winning the rest of that spar. For you to recover from a tank punch and continue at 17 and continue to fight and then win the rest of that fight, your powers of recovery have to be really good. In the Loma fight, he gets rocked in the 11th round. He absolutely schools Loma in the 12th round. His powers of recovery is so underrated.
So I can actually explain that. You're actually correct. But Devin Haney, in terms of his conditioning, in order for you to have a good recovery span, your legs has got to be top notch in terms of just how strong your legs are. Even when Floyd was getting rocked back in the day, his legs is what kept him up, which gave him the opportunity to recover. Devin Haney got some of the better. He had some of the
better legs in the game.
Yes, and I'm talking in terms of movement, strength, balance. His legs is everything when it comes
helping
to
him absorb shots. Helping him absorb them shots.
Absolutely. Derek Wiltz, he said, Hooker can't make 140. Salute, fellas. Derek, salute to you, brother. You know what? His last fight was 147. Didn't he fight? His last fight was Virgil Ortiz, wasn't it?
But his best weight is 140. So, and for a fight of this sort of magnitude with a name like Haney, you tend to push yourself.
To fight Haney next.
Just spitballing, just the name, the non-threatening name.
That was a nice.
For me, bro. If I'm managing Devin Haney, I'm throwing Devin Haney right back in the deep end, bro. I'm throwing Devin Haney right back in the deep end.
How y'all feel about a Matisse fight?
Sandor Martin is.
How you feel about a Matisse fight?
No.
Because
not right after this. It's the same level of power.
The reason why is because even if you beat Matias just lost. For me, I'm throwing him in there with Paro. I'm throwing in there with Liam Paro. I'm throwing him in there with a Jack Catterall. One of those two cats. Reason being, bro, is because I don't care what anyone says. Devin Haney outboxed Ryan Garcia for 5 rounds. Devin Haney's boxing ability is still the same. You put Devin Haney with anyone.
That's why I said he didn't get beat up. Y'all didn't want to say he was winning rounds. I said he didn't. He was out there not getting whooped in every round. He lost a few rounds and got put on his keister. But
hey, hold on. The official phrase is that he got mugged by somebody.
Yeah, he got mugged. Yeah, he got mugged by somebody that came through with the Terminator fit.
If you put him in there with Liam Paro, I still pick Devin Haney to beat Liam Paro.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
Let me run through. Hold on. Let me run through the rest of these real quick. Tommy Dokes, he said the weight cut is already hard as it is for Devin. Tommy, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna move to the next question. Oh, you are the next question. But the thing about that, Tommy Dokes, is Devin Haney is getting too high in weight in his off season. Like he's getting way too high in weight in his off. Bruh. I think he got 2 sets of wardrobes. I think he got a wardrobe from when he's out of camp, and then he got another wardrobe for when he's in camp. I think when he's out of camp, me and him might got the same wardrobe, bro. Like me and him might be wearing the same size, man, straight up. But I'm about 2 with some change. So you know what I'm saying? So he need to stay. He need to keep it at a certain level in his off camp, so he's not struggling so much. But I think that's his problem. Tommy said, "Face of boxing, haha." Devin versus Ryan live gate did 4 mil. Tank just did 15 mil gate with Martin. Anui did a 20 mil gate with Neri, and he also said Devin versus Regis did 60,000 pay-per-view buys. That's not the face of boxing. I'm not
saying he's the face of boxing. I'm saying
the
that's
run,
the argument.
The run that he could have been.
The run he could have made the argument.
Right. If he beat Ryan Garcia, that would have been the argument he could make. Guess what? What I will say is if he beat Ryan Garcia, his next purse wouldn't have been 1.5 million.
That's
like
a
it is
fact.
Against Sandor Martin. That's something I can guarantee.
English guy says Shane's got a good point about possibly suing for lost earnings. You could make an argument based on reputational damage, which usually comes into defamation.
Liable.
Yeah, but when you're already suing for medical, you just have to back up your lawsuit with other reasoning. So
you got to be careful. You got to be careful with the medical too. Because if you throw the medical in, they could use that against you if you're trying to get sanctioned for a fight. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with that. Tommy Doak said Ryan.
That's why, but hold up. That's why I said you have to have a diversified argument when you're putting your suit. One can be above the other, but you can still.
No, understood. But you got to make sure you got to be careful with that though, because
no doubt.
take that one thing. Yeah,
no doubt.
Ryan will still get his pay-per-view money. It takes 60 to 90 days in the contract for pay-per-view money to get sent to those fighters. Ryan paid 1.2 and 10,000 in fines.
I'll tell you this now. If Don King or Frank Warren was the promoter, Ryan ain't getting shit. Because they would have just said, bro, I lost money. I lost money, and this fight's now a no contest. So it's the only reason why he's getting money is because he has a long-term deal with Golden Boy. Golden Boy don't want to lose that relationship down the stretch. But if that was Don King, if that was Frank Warren, you ain't getting no back-end money, bro. That fight's a no contest.
To be honest, can we be honest? Now, the main reason why Ryan would get his back-end money from Golden Boy, because let's be honest, right now they are one-horse promotion. So
I agree.
That's the main reason why he would get the money.
Right.
No, I'm saying if there is definitely a case for Ryan Garcia not to get his back in money.
I totally agree with you. But on the flip side, if he was to get it, you say, well, why? My argument would be it's a one-horse promotion. He's the only guy pulling the goddamn cart. So
I agree.
Give him what he needs to continue pulling the cart.
Yeah. Lavelle said right on about cycling. People arguing Ryan didn't have higher levels, but that's proof they were trying to cycle. Good point. Shane says this is a mere statement that is true of why people are not accepting it. It's not to suggest that they are right or wrong. Understood. Tommy Doak, 16-ounce gloves and headgear is not 8 ounces. 8-ounce gloves and no headgear. Tank hits him the same with 8-ounce gloves as he did in sparring. Bye-bye.
That's not my argument that I made. I said the fact that he got rocked and he still managed to fight on, that's what I'm saying, his powers of recovery.
Yeah.
And this 16-ounce gloves thing is true. If it's 8-ounce gloves, it would be a different story. It's Tank Davis, of course. But that doesn't mean that his powers of recovery is any less.
In the doghouse, they're not fighting with 16s. They're not fighting with 16s at the doghouse. I can tell you that right now. Making guys pay for drug testing isn't a bad idea, except it's very different for a guy on a $2.5 million purse to pay $30,000 on a test. A guy making a few $100 a fight paying that. English guy, I tell you this: if you don't want it, stay off it.
But here's the thing, bro, and this is the thing. This is why I find that wrong, because you have to pay your promoter 10%. No. Why can't I hear anyone?
No, I agree. That's why I'm saying, like, if you don't want them problems, stay off of it. If you don't want them problems, stay off of it. And everything y'all saying is true, but I'm like,
I got a question though.
Problems, go ahead.
Based on earnings, is there a price for testing per level of earnings that should be set? Because let's just be honest. Like, this your first fight. You about to make $500. What the fuck you going to afford $30,000 for a goddamn drug testing?
I mean, in a situation like that, then yeah.
That's what I said. It should be.
There should be, but here's the issue, Blunt. Here's the issue. The commission or the commission. So whether it's New York, whether it's London, whether it's Nevada, whatever state you're in, that commission should be working in correlation. The money that you pay for sanctioning fees, whether it's at the highest level or the lowest level, should be going through to, and part of that should be going to drug testing.
Another thing, bro. If it's PEDs involved, you only making $500 a fight. That's a problem. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a problem for sure.
No, I get you, but maybe it's a guy that had done some shit and it's like, now I'm ready to go on the run. You see what I mean? Type of thing. Maybe a guy coming from MMA or kickboxing or something else. You know what I mean? So just spitballing as far as the price level. You know what I mean?
I got you. Tommy Duke said it was Tank versus Devin Floyd in the gym in that spar. Floyd was constantly grabbing Tank. Tommy Duke, to be honest with you, bro, like I don't take too much into sparring. I really don't. Like I think people that I think fighters that really highlight sparring, 9 times out of 10, they don't step up to the plate when the lights is on. Like that's what they have to go on. Like this the infamous sparring sessions and stuff like that. I don't really
Can we speak on another thing about sparring? We don't know what level of the day dudes is at when they sparring. How much work the cat's already put in. Now he's called to the ring, and he might not have a lot to give back, and he's just absorbing. So
Vlog, that's a great point because everybody said that Tank was out of shape during that. So good
that's
point.
true. And to be honest with you, I can tell you a story where a guy got cooked in sparring, and then he ended up knocking him out in Saudi Arabia. Hergovich versus Dubois. Dubois got cooked in sparring by Hergovich. Even Dubois said it himself. He ended up cooking Hergovich in Saudi. So
yeah. English guy said, my point about consistency is that you have to have consistency across different countries so that you don't get kind of been situations where guys move to another country and continue fighting. I actually agree with that. L Dub the plug in the building, man, said what's good. Go subscribe to L Dub the plug too. He got one of the better channels out here as well. And if you need to learn about boxing in terms of the rankings and fighters and things like that, I think you need to go over there and go subscribe to L Dub the plug. He said Jaime Munguia, Virgil Ortiz, and Zerto are solid draws for Golden Boy. Good point. Not Ryan Garcia level, but good point though. Micah Larkins, he said Tank got the most.
So answer me a question real quick. Are you paying $89 to see any one of them dudes?
Nah. He did say solid draws. I'll give him that.
So you're paying to see them dudes.
it depends on the opponent. Like
Depends on the opponent.
So then you're paying for the opponent. You're not paying for them.
Well, I mean, you can make the same case for Tank too, because a lot of his pay-per-views only do 200,000. The ones that went above the roof was with who he was up against.
Based on what the pundits was saying about the dude, not that Frank Martin was this draw.
I mean, I'm just saying results. I'm saying
results.
If he don't have the right opponent, his average is about 200,000.
Jaime Munguia just done a pay-per-view with Canelo, so
yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I feel you. Micah said Tank got the most if he fans. I swear, if he's retype that, bro, because I can't decipher that.
I got a question for y'all too.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, if you criticize a fighter that you're getting ready to fight for being on PEDs in the past, and you're getting the biggest purse of your career, would you want to pay $30,000 to do a drug test? Wait, out of your purse, and this is the biggest purse you're getting in your career, would you want to pay $30,000? Like, would you do it or would you not do it?
Yeah, because that's a yes to me. If I already know this motherfucker that took some dope, I don't want him in.
The fighter I'm referring to, he didn't. I'm talking about this is old, but I'm talking about Travis Kaufman. He was talking about Luis Ortiz. He said he criticized Luis Ortiz for being on PEDs, but he didn't.
Kaufman getting 30,000 from?
That's what I'm saying. I read
that's a good point. I agree with. I got vlog answer on this one. Yeah. I would have an issue with that.
Are you
would you pay 30? Would you pay $30,000 out your own purse?
I don't think you understanding the question.
No, I must not be understanding.
Okay, so listen. Travis Kaufman was fighting. So what Legend is trying to say is Travis Kaufman was fighting.
I remember the fight.
Luis Ortiz.
I think that was
Travis Kaufman
he was Joe Hurtful in that card.
Yeah, he was criticizing Luis Ortiz for being a drug cheat. Legend is saying, if you're Kaufman, why do I have to pay $30,000 for the drug test if I'm fighting a drug cheat?
I hear you.
And he's paying nothing.
No, but
well, then hold up.
Pay anything. Why did Ortiz not pay anything?
That's my point. That'll go to say So future testing pricing should just be based on whether you've had a questionable past. Should you be the one paying for the entire testing of both fighters?
Right.
Should there be something of that nature? Like,
saying, so if you're Travis Kaufman and Luis Ortiz is making 4 times more than Travis Kaufman in that fight, because
I'm voluntary testing and he got to pay for it.
Should Luis Ortiz be fronting the bill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Because
good question.
because remember, you're innocent until proven guilty. Now, once you become guilty, you have to prove your innocence. So every single time, you have to. Every single time you fight, you got to show me that you're innocent, bro.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facts. That the precedent. Again, all we're doing is stacking bricks on bricks on bricks to build a wall that these future dudes that want to do this janky type of stuff can't knock down. They can't go through it. They can't go around it because there's so much that they would have to go through that it would be impossible. So their best bet is just come in as clean as possible, do the best they can, and fucking hope they can come out with a victory. Goddamn, stop cheating, bro. Y'all fucking up the game.
Right.
Excuse my language.
Yeah, English guy said respectfully, Jeff, you can't just say if you don't want to stay off it, because to the guy making millions, it's just a cost of doing business, and they still take their chances. So the reason I said that, bro, I said that for the lower level fighter that's not making the millions. So I wasn't referring to the person that is making the millions. Obviously there's a different standard and there's a different level that you gotta attack it when you're talking about somebody that's making millions.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
You can corral any of this ruckus going on. It's been done on the highest levels where these dudes is for dangling and making moves on the stock market and all of this fraudulent stuff that goes on. It can be wrangled. It can be taken and bottled up and look, this is what we doing to y'all. You know what I mean? So it has to happen in the sport. It happened in baseball. So now these dudes is like, yo, you juicing, fuck around, don't make it to the Hall of Fame. So you done played all this time and got all these numbers.
That's a precedent. Yeah.
So precedent, you gotta set precedent.
Facts.
See, Ryan Garcia ain't worried about the Hall of Fame. He worried about pockets.
Right.
So what you do is you shame him so bad for what he's known for, boxing. You take him out of boxing limelight for a certain amount of time that affects his social standing, because that's what he's living off of. That's what he's eating off of. That's his main concern. Now people ain't talking about him. That's going to affect him. That's where you got to affect guys like this. You have to set precedents and say, these rules are coming in for you because this is how you move.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Tommy Doak said, do you give Loma any legit shot at beating Tank, or is he too far past it?
I mean, I expect Tank to win, but he's got a chance. It's boxing.
Yeah. What you think, Vlog?
10%.
Legend, what you think?
I think he makes it a great fight until the later rounds, and he'll get clipped. But I think he makes it a great fight because still it's Loma. He's got one of the best footwork in the game. So
yeah, footwork top notch.
All right, so that sounds like a whole lot of running.
Not necessarily. Because
I mean,
Loma really
we ain't gonna pretend that Frank Martin didn't win.
Yeah, he's not gonna do what Frank Martin did.
No, I'm saying, but we're not gonna pretend that Frank Martin didn't win a few rounds against Tank. You know
yes, he did.
Like,
absolutely.
And
listen,
that same style that won him the rounds started losing him the rounds. Also.
Right, but that's where the level of fighter comes in at. The difference between a great fighter and just a good fighter is a good fighter is able to accomplish a game plan over a couple of rounds. That great fighter is able to adjust and maybe give you another different style to get him through the other half of that fight. Frank Martin ain't got that. He ain't got that. He don't have that in his bag.
When he was getting backed up, that's when he should have made the switch. He just doesn't have the ability to make it.
Yeah, but Vlog and I said this, I think the last time we was on, he never put his foot in the ground and was like, yo, like, I'm not moving past this spot.
He never
did that in that fight. You know what I mean?
He came forward a couple times and went right back. When I say he came forward off that jab, throwing that straight left, and he went right back. It was like, what, bro? Stay on him if you're gonna stay on.
Tank, bro, is one of the most versatile fighters in terms of just knockout punches, because he doesn't have to pin you on the ropes to knock you out. He can knock you out in the middle of the ring, and where like a Canelo, once he gets you against the ropes, he's gonna tee off against your body. Same thing, almost like a Artur Beterbiev. Who's gonna let shots off once you're against the ropes, you're in trouble. Tank will knock you out in the center of the ring as well. So there isn't really a safe place for Tank.
Yeah, it's just the middle of the ring is
my
safer
thing
than the corners.
My thing is,
no, I feel you.
Loma's early offense is not going. He has to be consistently working to be able to keep that power off of him. The movement is not going to be enough because you're not going to be able to win rounds just moving. You still got to be effective offensively.
And listen, and Frank landed some good shots. Like Frank landed some good shots.
The funniest thing for me is the person
not enough.
The person who I've always said who, and it's hindsight's 2020, but the person before this situation happened, who I've always said had the best chance against Tank was Devin, and the reason why I said Devin was because obviously this is before the Ryan fight, but the reason why I said Devin was because he's one of the few people that when you get him against ropes, he's gonna tie you up, and he's gonna show you that he's bigger than you. A lot of these guys, they're weight trained, but they're not physically imposing themselves. I would have loved like when Devin gets against those ropes and there's no escape for him in terms of his feet. Like when his feet stop working, he's gonna tie you up, bit like Tyson Fury. Like when Tyson Fury's feet ain't there, he's gonna tie you up, and that is something that I think could have been exploited if you're good enough at clinching. I mean, I remember when Devin fought Kambosos, he initiated like 30 clinches in the first 3 rounds. Like 20-something clinches in the first 3 rounds. And I think someone like Tank, that's going to at least give you the opportunity to rest from that constant pressure that you're getting. Frank Martin didn't have that rest at all. It was just a matter of time before he got knocked out.
To be honest with you, you could feel it watching it. I think I got through like round 2 or round 3, and I was like, by round 9, I'm like,
right into the wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna give L Dub these last 2 joints, and then we're gonna get up out of here. L Dub said Virgil Ortiz fight announcement should be announced tomorrow. The opponent is looking like Boychuk. Okay, August 10th or 17th. I'm not mad at that. And L Dub said if Loma can make it to the 8th when he usually turns it up, it could be interesting. Loma, like Usyk, has championship gear from 8 through 12 that normally win most of their fights. You know what, L Dub, I will say this with Loma, he finishes fights well. I will give Loma that. Like he finishes fights well. Teofimo fight finishes well. Obviously the Campbell.
But has he finished in there with a guy with that power? That's the question. That's the question. But generally speaking, Loma does turn up back half of the fight, so that would be interesting to see. Because I think Tank performs very well very late in fights, and Loma performs well late in fights. So the question is really going to be, can Loma stay out the way and possibly get some early rounds because Tank gives up early rounds? It's an interesting fight. But that's the thing. When Tank is in there with a dude that's not going to press him, then Tank becomes the aggressor. So now you asking the question, can Loma even be around for the turn up?
But that's the question. That's why L Dub said if he can make it to 8.
I ain't saying L Dub wrong for his question, but I'm just reiterating.
L Dub said 100. Hey Dub, when you going? Are you going on live today? Said Shane said look at the hit baseball took for years though. Attendance was shot, jersey sales was down. I don't want that to happen to boxing, but see the difference with that though, bro. Boxing was widespread amongst a lot of superstars.
Baseball.
We're talking 1 or 2.
Yeah, baseball. Baseball was widespread.
L Dub said, yeah, that's the question. Yeah, I would love to see the answer, bro. I would love to see the answer. He said, no, not today. Let me know next time you're going live so we can jump in and chop it up. But listen, man, this was a really, really good episode, bro. Hour 20 strong. Big shout out to everybody that came in here, man. Big shout out to Shane. He skated out. I think his cousin Shane Solis might have hit him up on the phone or something. Told him get up out of here. Ty Finney, the legend, man, my dog, man. Giving your social media and all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. Instagram, the legend 3347. Same on TikTok, Facebook, Ty Finney. Podcast in this corner. I'm supposed to do an interview later, so just be on the lookout for that.
Okay. Blunt, what we got, baby?
Look out for the new Blunt Truth series coming from me and Jeff. You know, some quick segments, you know, tapping in on upcoming fights, you know, that them hot topics in boxing. Just in and out, giving y'all our 1-2. Getting y'all prepared for the boxing weekly talk that we bring y'all on Sundays. But I'm back on the gram posting. Got a couple fights that I think should be lined up, so I'm gonna post them up and get everybody's thoughts. So check me out on the gram, Boxing First Vlog, and look for me back on YouTube coming up in the next week or two.
I want to see, before we get off here, I want to see if I can actually pull up the actual thumbnail for the.
Oh yeah, that Blunt Truth. Yeah, you know, I gotta keep it all the way 100.
Yeah,
like I normally do, but sometimes you gotta really, you know what I mean,
I got you. I'm about to share it right now for the people that haven't seen it. I actually haven't shared it yet, so this is the first time I'm actually sharing it. So let me see. Tab.
Hey, before we leave, Blunt, the reason I say I think Ryan the year is good, because you look at Ryan's, you know, he's fought 3 times in the last year. So he's fought 3 times in a year. So now he don't get a fight for a whole year. So that's why I think a year is good for him. See what I'm saying? He fought Tank, he fought Doretti, and he just fought Haney. So that's 3 times.
But again, is a year good for him personally? Is it good for him? Because this is supposed to be a punishment. It's not good for him if he resting. He just fought 3 times. And he coming off the biggest victory of his career, quote unquote. So a good downtime, set up your next big fight. I don't think it's a punishment. In all actuality, now that you bring that up, I actually don't think it's a punishment. It was probably something he was going to do anyway, because he had to get off the juices.
I'd have went for 2, me personally.
But 2 sounds more reasonable than 3, but 3 to me would have been a nice cap, a nice we not effing with you dudes like that.
Yeah. All right, that's the framework for the
and that's where you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the Blunt Truth in that series right there, man.
We're gonna drop that like 2, maybe like 2-3 joints a week. Get you in the middle of the week, get you ready for the Sunday show. Like, we're not gonna leave you a whole 7 days without putting in some work. You know what I'm saying?
Sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Big shout out to Vlog. And we just gonna pick, you know, hot topics, and we're gonna go in on them. And also, if it's a topic that me and Ty Finney got to get into, we gonna throw it in. If me and Shane got to get into something, we gonna throw it in. Scotty said, great thumbnail. Vlog look ready to go. Yeah, he definitely look ready to go, man, for sure, man. So we going, hey man, and listen to all my you know, weed dispensaries and all that, man. We could use a sponsorship for the Blunt Truth series as well. So all my you know, guys that got the dispensaries, or even if you don't have a if your dispensary's on the corner, you know, hit us up on the email. You know, we'll take those too. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, on behalf of VP Shane, Ty Finney, the legend, definitely subscribe to him, just period. Just subscribe to him, period. You're gonna enjoy the interviews and everything he brings to the table. And my man, Boxing First Vlog, me and him gonna be doing the Blunt Truth series. That is gonna start this week. We're gonna jump on a couple of different topics. This Ryan Garcia thing is probably gonna be one of them. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna jump on this. So the Blunt Truth series is gonna start as well. That's gonna premiere on my channel and Blunt's channel. You know what I'm saying? So you can get it either way. It will be up on the social medias. We'll be dropping clips of it as well. And we basically going to go from there, man. So on behalf of everybody, your boy G5 Jeff TV, man, we'll see y'all next Sunday and follow us on social media.
Peace.